I think AI is a powerful accelerator. It's shaping how we work, how we connect, how we tell stories. What's important, it's to remember that you have to be authentic and you still have to be human.
All right, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Brainiac Blueprint, where we discuss the intersection of AI with our esteemed guests. I am Kyle Lambert, your host and founder of Left Brain AI and Action Hero Marketing. Some of you may have seen our guests in the first part of our two-part series here. We are welcoming back Lucy Edwards to talk about a bunch more stuff. She has some more real estate and tools to share, as well as some marketing and reputation management stuff to go over. As I mentioned last time, Lucy has a wealth of knowledge to share with everybody. So Lucy, welcome back. How are you?
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for such warm introduction. And I'm happy to be back.
Awesome. Great. Well, let's jump right in. If you don't mind, just again, remind everybody who you are, a little bit about your background and how you think about AI.
Well, Lucy Edwards here, and I started in real estate about 25 years ago. My husband and I, we built our company in New York City metropolitan area from ground zero. We were the first ones to discover floor plans outside of Manhattan. We kind of pioneered that whole industry, and it was word of mouth where the word spread that floor plans are needed, and that's how we start building our reputation. I personally believe that foundation of any marketing strategy of anybody really is trust and relationship. And that's how we built our company. We built relationships first with companies, with agents, with brokers, and with admins, with everybody I could meet in a hallway. And then you are based on that relationship, you grew the business relationship and you start offering. It's important to constantly listen to what your client needs and what your client not just wants, but really needs, and you bring value to the table. And we will talk about value later today, but that was my foundation, that was the basis, and I built a successful multi-million-dollar company that we sold to VHT Studios. And actually at VHT, we took it to another level. They were image is everything. And in 2019, besides image, it was so much more. Like we were doing videos and drones and storytelling, which was so important. You can tell the story with drone video and then walk through video at the property. And here is the story about your listing. And we put VHT on a map as a company with intelligent marketing strategy, not just the image. And then Matterport bought us. And as a result, I changed my strategy for the Matterport and introduced Matterport as a company that is humanized marketing tool, not just a camera that is doing scanning. It's thinking about the final consumer. And again, relationship, value, and be useful for your client and be what the word I'm looking for is proactive. Be proactive. Think what your client is going to need, because sometimes they don't even know what they need. You have to suggest and recommend. You have to think for your client what's important. So here we go.
Proactivity is key. It's the best way to build value, establish that trust, build that reputation, everything that you just mentioned. And one of the great things about you, Lucy, is you're so open with your strategies and your insights, and knowing that everybody can kind of learn and share stories, and you can learn from other people as well. So last time we spoke, you shared a lot of your tools and your strategies, and I know you and I have been connecting and talking a couple times since then, and you have some more stuff that you wanted to share today before we jump into marketing specific stuff and things like that. So I'm going to pass it on to you. I know you have some cool things to share.
Yeah, I would like to start with AI and what do I think of AI and what AI means. And like I like to say, it's a love-hate relationship. You hate doing it, but you love what that tool brings to you and how it elevates you. And I think AI is a powerful accelerator. It's shaping how we work, how we connect, how we tell stories. What's important, it's to remember that you have to be authentic and you still have to be human. So that, I think, is the foundation of AI. Use it, and at the same time, don't forget that it's you who is talking, and it has to come from your passion and from your heart.
I think accelerator is the perfect word. You need to use it to do more of what you do well. It's not replacing anything. It's just making you be more proactive, more productive, and just get more of what works for you out the door.
Exactly. And I think, as a matter of fact, the word accelerator I got from ChatGPT.
Nice. That's perfect.
But you tweak it to yourself, you tweak it to your personality, and you just pick and choose certain words that you would like to use in your strategy, and then it works out just fine, right?
Exactly. You've got this down to a science at this point.
So I would like to talk about, so today we are talking about marketing and reputation. And I would like to start with, how for the last couple of years we were talking market is shifting again in a completely different direction. And right now it's going from seller's market to buyer's market. And the strategy slightly changes because, the shifted market, if the market is shifting, it's really an opportunity for you to shift your strategy and to shift your way of thinking and how you are going to sell yourself in a way. You are a realtor and you are selling someone's property, but really you are selling yourself as well. So elevate your marketing strategy, elevate what you are about. I think it is extremely important to bring at least three bullet points I would like to bring about video. Why video is important in today's environment. Number one, your high school photo on your business card is not going to fly anymore. So you have to update your portfolio. But it is also important to have a short video about yourself, because when someone is looking for a realtor, and you advertise yourself on Google business page, on your social media, you have to have a YouTube channel. Everywhere you are consistent. And at the same time, video is important because people can feel who are they going to meet, who are they going to work. That's why it's important to make that video authentic and make it with your whole spirit, your passion, your heart. Invest everything you got into that 30-second, 45-second video that people can feel that you are going to stand up for them, you're going to fight for them, you're going to get the best price for the seller, you're going to get the best price for the buyer, you're going to work your ass off to make their dream come true, and it will come through the video if you make it right. Now, we will talk about situations when you are so shy and you cannot be in front of the video, and I'll introduce you that in a minute. But the other bullet points I would like to mention about the video is be, again, valuable. Don't just make a video of, don't forget to paint your kitchen and replace your bright green walls into white walls. That is not what people need to hear. Try to put together some kind of statistics. Like, for example, according to some appraisal companies, and we can go to ChatGPT to check it out. According to some appraisal companies, if you have a $500,000 property and you are sitting on it as a seller, still waiting for rates to go down, the price of your property go up, you are actually losing about 1% and about $5,000 a month. So in 10 months, you will lose $50,000 of the value of your property. Not to forget that your taxes can grow, that the house is getting worn out, that your air conditioning can fly away, and so many things can happen in those 10 months that take it all into consideration. And that is the video that will bring value to the sellers, that they will listen to a practical advice, not just don't forget to cut the grass, at the open house. So that's something I think you should be remembering. There are also some statistics that I would like to share with you. according to Realtor.com, year over year, inventory growth grew from July of last year to July of this year, 24.8%. And in New York, according to New York Post, it's also 24.8. According to House Canary, it's 23.9. That is very important for you to remember, because now you have to increase your value by 25%. You have to increase your marketing budget by 25%. Most importantly, you have to increase your creativity. Invest in education. I personally try to attend at least 2 or sometimes 3 different webinars on different subjects, just to be up to date of what's happening. If 15 minutes into the webinar, I feel like I will never use it, or it's just so over my head that I'm not ready for it, I jump off. But you can't imagine how useful they are. Majority of webinars that you attend or podcasts, I listen to podcasts when I drive, even if it's a 20-minute drive. If it's a 45-minute podcast, I will do it round trip. If I go somewhere, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and here is the podcast. And there are so many interesting podcasts. And if you take even just one hint or one, I'm not saying that you're going to discover America there, you will not, but you will confirm what you already know, and you will remember to use it tomorrow. And what I'm telling you now, that inventory is rising, again, that's no news to you. But think about how you're going to elevate your marketing strategies to bring your value by 25%. So I'm going to share something with you right now. And it's, I find it amazing. And you know how I found it? Through networking. So I went to Inman, and at Inman, I met as many people as I possibly could. I went to every happy hour. Yes, I was drinking, but at the same time, I was able to talk and listen to so many startups and good ideas, and ideas that were just being born and not even invented yet. It just really made me understand how rich the real estate industry is and how much we can do for our clients. But I would love for you to listen to this video. It's about 1 minute, so be patient with me.
This gorgeous 3-bedroom. Creating videos with DeepBrain AI could not be easier. I guarantee you that. All you have to do is just sit here and talk about anything and everything. Talk about the weather, about what you're going to have for dinner. It doesn't really matter, because you will prepare a Word document with real copy and real text that will be completed with your voice. Even if you have an accent, like I do, it will really appear very natural. And I am doing right now an example for an open house. So if you're not comfortable in front of the camera, use the software and all your problems are solved. Cheers. Open house. Join me this Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. for an exclusive open house at 1033 Northeast 17th Way in beautiful Fort Lauderdale. This gorgeous 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath home is packed with endless amenities, featuring modern finishes, spacious living areas, and a prime location just minutes from the beach, dining, and shopping. Don't miss your chance to see it in person.
It's so interesting.
Creating videos with DeepBrain AI would not be.
That's such an interesting tool. It's funny watching you talk when it's not actually you. What is the process like for getting that set up? Do you have to do a couple of videos so that it gets to like learn you and your voice and everything, or?
No. Actually, you're not even. When you just have to, that was the video when I was talking about do whatever you want to do, talk about what you have for dinner. That's all you need to do. And when you don't have an accent, actually your your video and your voice is perfect. With me, they tried to play with it. It was either too British or too German or to something. It was never Russian though. But no, all you have to do is just talk about whatever else you want to talk. And then you incorporate the Word document that you prepare with the script. And you can, and that's it. And then the software does it all for you.
That's so interesting.
So it's really cool. The name of the company. Just 1 second. I will hold on. I will. Oops.
I think I saw it was DeepBrain.
Yeah.
DeepBrain AI.
It's at the end of that video, and I will. And you have the information, so you can share it. And you can again. You can look at other companies similar to that one. This one is very inexpensive. I think you buy the membership and you can do as many videos as you want. And I would suggest for you to create few videos so you have enough for a whole week to do different posts. All you have to do is change your clothes and change the Word document that you would like to talk about. So that's all you got to do, and then you will have a whole series of videos that are very simple. Now, something that I would also like to share with you, speaking of videos, and we spoke about it last time. This is the Matterport, talking about reputation and bringing value. Right now, in Florida, for example, especially in South Florida, 50% of new developments are sold to investors or just international buyers. 50%. That is huge. Now, if you think that someone from Spain or Argentina are going to fly to your open house, that's not going to happen. So with 24/7, like Matterport or any other 3D tour, you can really get things done. And then here you can put tags in, you can describe the property. The more tags you have, the more opportunities the buyer can spend more time on your property, falling in love. And that's very important. So I'm just going to show you very quickly, again, AI, the same AI.
Four-story townhome blends contemporary style with smart functionality in one of Fort Lauderdale's most desirable gated communities, Villa Medici. Featuring warm wood flooring throughout, the home offers a cohesive and elegant aesthetic across all levels.
So you had showed this last time. This is the same tool that you just showed, the DeepBrain?
I have a different accent there.
Yeah. So, Lucy, so I was curious. So I didn't realize, is this the same tool as you showed a little bit of this last time? I wasn't sure if this is.
It is exactly the same tool.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's exactly the same tool. The reason I'm showing it here, it's how you can be creative and one step ahead of your competition. It is so important to know what's happening in the world that you can be one step ahead. Hardly anyone is using tools like that. Commercial real estate, yes, they do. Maybe not as much with video, but with tags, because in commercial real estate, you put, what kind of stove it is. If you have a tenant, like if you have property management company, then you can, for example, you can have a tag about refrigerator. So if refrigerator breaks, you can have a tag with the name of the model and the code and whatever else. So the mechanic knows what to do and what to bring. So certain things are very important when you have tags like that. But in residential real estate, it's rather new. And I can tell you that probably not even 0.0001% of realtors use that tool. So if you want to stand out, think about how you can stand out. And coming back to the statistics of how inventory is rising and how you should rise your thinking, that is one of the directions. I'm not selling Matterport, actually, not at all, but there are plenty of other companies who are using similar technology. Just investigate. I would like to talk about ChatGPT, how it can help you and how it can also bring your knowledge to a different level. So, for example, here, that's where I got my statistics. And here, for example, we have, what did I ask here? I was asking about monthly inventory growth over time, and it's in New York. So in New York, in March, it grew. So it was growing to, that's how many houses for sale. So from March, we had 29,000, and now we have 38,000. So it's growing consistently. Read a regional snapshot of New York City capital region. So we have here inventory and new listings, both rows, driving search, pending sales, and closed sales. So it's really, so the pending sales are still at 19% year over year, and closed up only 2%. So overall, the sales inventory at the nearly 3-year high. So it was up 3.9% in just 1 month. So here we were asking about Philadelphia. Philadelphia is actually doing much better. So here we have active inventory dipped slightly. So you see, so you are selling by 2% more. So that is great. And then we can do whatever you like to do. We can look at Dallas. How is Dallas, Texas inventory growing year over year? And that they are really not that bad, because that is one of the hottest markets right now. So it's actually pretty good. So metro-wide inventory. So the Dallas-Fort Worth market has experienced a dramatic 53%. So you see, and that is since I was there in June, 53% increase in inventory from May. That is, so they have to increase, the agents in Dallas have to increase their marketing budget and their thinking head by 53%.
There's a lot of opportunity there they can capitalize on. So you're right. Get your name out there, show why you're better, really step up your game.
Absolutely. That is your opportunity. Like, market shift equals opportunities. Those are the things that I think are so important right now for you to understand. But ChatGPT, and I suggest to splurge and pay $20 a month. I have ChatGPT 5, which is much better than 4. But for me, $20 is enough. You can buy better plans and bigger plans, but this is really, really, and not to mention how they can write, like if you need to write a very quick email and it has to be grammatically correct and you want it to be nice and clean, it can create a really cool email for you quickly. You just tweak it a little bit to your personal self, and here you go. But it will be much better and much faster than you will spend 15 minutes on creating an email or cover letter or something like that. So please keep this in mind. Very, very quickly, I would like to use one more marketing tool. Let me see if I can do that. So that one, it's Trust Scout. I was talking about it last time, but I didn't really study it that well. Not that I studied it that much better this time, but at least I'll give you an idea. You can go to a map, you can put a zip code, and this one is mine in Fort Lauderdale. You can put filters in, and so you can put, for example, how many bedrooms do you want? You want 3 bedrooms. How many, so estimated, you can talk about mortgage and gender, owner or renter. Let's say we can talk about renter, and we can include unknown. And then I just want to put more filters, so it will be children. We can put 3 to 5. Oh my God. Okay. I have I have two. So
I
then
have zero.
you see, then you will be in a different filter. So then we can have active shopper, so whatever, new home, so we can put in new home, yes. And then we can filter it and calculate the number, and that will, oops, what happened there? Oh, it signed me out. But it will filter it, and actually the map will create all the addresses according to your filter.
Sure.
It's a really cool tool. Let's say you have an investor, and you can, and with that marketing tool, you can look for investment properties in certain areas. Or here they have a whole, they call it many Ds, diaper, death, documents, whatever it is. And then, and you can incorporate all the filters, and you will come up with great direction. If you are a broker and you are looking for agents, according to that map, you can find agents. And let's say you want luxury agents selling between $5 and $10 million. So you want agents who do just flip homes or whatever else. There are so many categories, and with Trust Scout software, you can. And I met them again at Inman. I think going to different conferences is very important, and meeting different people is very important as well. So I would encourage you. Some are very expensive, like for example, Inman, if you buy the ticket the last minute, it's $1,500. But if you buy it ahead of time, it's half price. You can go to Inman in different areas. For example, Miami Inman is $600, and Dallas Inman is, I think, $600 as well. So those are different networking events that you can join. I personally think that events like we met at the event NYC Expo in New York City. That was perfect. So even if you live in Philadelphia or Connecticut, you should be coming to events like that. So anyway, that's just, that is one of the networking directions. Women Council of Realtors. I love Women Council of Realtors. It costs you nothing. Even if you're not a member, you pay $25 for your breakfast, and then you get networking. You meet so many people, and not just vendors and partners. You meet other agents, you meet other ideas. There are different speakers. Speakers are always invited. So many statistics in front of you when you go to events like that. So I strongly encourage you, Real Deal. I love Real Deal. There is Real Deal in New York, and it's very affordable. There is Real Deal in Miami. I buy VIP ticket, so I get to meet the right people.
You are a VIP, Lucy. That's awesome. Yeah, I love events. It's such a digital world, but it's still a human to human world too. We connect more. That's why video is so important. You get to see someone's face, you get to hear their voice. It's like this is an actual person. So I totally agree. Getting out there and talking to people is still the best way to grow your reputation, grow your business, increase your contact list, everything. It's a compounding effect. You may not get that immediate return. Maybe you will. But as you go to more and more, it compounds on itself. And it's like, oh, I've seen you multiple times now, or, oh, this person too. And it really does build on itself. Yeah,
exactly. And then you get referred, you get introduced, and so on. So I think that is very important. And also build your reputation when you go to events, when you do networking, when you join webinars, when you listen to podcasts. You learn. Every day you learn something, and you build your reputation by someone who can represent themselves. If you have a problem, if you have an issue, or if you need some help, or if you need some good ideas, come to me. I am your source. So that, I think, even being an agent and helping other agents, that is building reputation. That agent who you just helped, he or she are going to also promote you, saying, I don't know how to help you, but I know that Mary Jones, she is there, and she will definitely get you an answer on that particular subject. So that is important, and that is talking about the reputation. I think invest in your reputation is a key. Again, you have to be authentic. That is number one. That I would think about myself first of all. Be yourself and don't offer anything you don't believe in, and just think about the value that you are bringing to the person, and don't argue with them. If you think that their opinion to them is so important, it's actually against my Russian religion. In Russia, you will argue to the minute you die. But I lived long enough in America. If it's something very important and you cannot convince them, don't waste your time. You explained how your point of view, and I think that's all you can do at that point. But if you see that it's you just banging against the wall, just let it go.
What's that old saying? You can only lead a horse to water, right? You can't.
Oh, yeah.
So exactly, you can only do so much. So
you can only do so much. But reputation is your reputation. Reputation
Absolutely.
is your knowledge. Is how you share your knowledge with others. Is how authentic you are, and what are you offering? Like I would never offer when I had my company, and the agent would insist that they want to have drone video because the seller wanted drone video, and that video will only show how close their property is to another property. They can shake hands on Sunday morning. So that is going to ruin the whole marketing strategy. So I would always recommend to think about what's good for the property, not what the seller wants. And I would even offer to put in writing as an email saying, I strongly recommend not to do that. So it's not like I'm trying to save their money. I'm trying to save their reputation, because they're going to ruin their reputation, and the seller is going to hate them because nobody is going to come to the open house. So that's, I think, again, part of the reputation subject.
There's nothing worse than an empty open house. That's Lucy, I want to put some actionable, tangible thoughts behind all this. So you have talked a lot about different tools that you've used, building your reputation, using your marketing. You think about storytelling versus selling to these people. So let's build a hypothetical situation here. You're at one of your networking events, and you meet somebody that you find interesting or worthwhile building a relationship with. Maybe this is a peer in your space. Maybe it's an opportunity for a sale or a new project. You know, there's a lot of different ways that you can slice or dice it. What is your process? What are your next steps? How do you decide, okay, I want to jump into this tool and do this research or build this video or reach out in this way? What is your thought process when you make these connections and getting the most out of that?
Well, I ask questions and I listen. It took me years to learn that, but now I think I conquered the listening tool. But I listen. I ask, like, that's what happened at the reason I keep bringing up Inman, because it was only 2 weeks ago. So I listen. What do you do? Okay, you are a startup. How will agent benefit from it? And then I'm asking hypothetical questions, like being a devil's advocate. And then we have a conversation. And if the person I'm talking to, they can see that I am interested and I want to learn, at least, like general, in general, I want to understand what they're all about. And I usually try to dig to the very bottom to understand whether we can continue that conversation later. And I would like to invest in our relationship and create that friendship and so on. If I feel like I will never use that tool again, or I don't believe in it, or I think it's just a waste of time, and my clients, my agents will never use it, I'll just say that, it sounds great, but it's just not for my sphere, and it's not for my industry. It's probably better for property management that I don't know anything about, or whatever. So that's how I usually approach. But even if it is about property management, I will also spend time on it just to understand that maybe I know someone and I can recommend them to each other. Like with this Trust Scout program, I was thinking about investors. I have a lot of agents who have investors or investment properties. I reached out to everyone I could think of, saying that that is the tool you have to use. I reached out to my colleagues, former competitors, as photography companies. You should use that tool to look for brokerages that will be useful for you to approach and sell them your marketing strategies and your marketing tools. I also approached to some of the brokers, and I said, that is the tool for you to find agents in the category you're looking for. You don't have luxury, but your majority of your listings in the territory that you are covering are $500,000, for example. And here is the tool to do that. So that's how I look at it. And I try to, I think what goes around comes around. I always think what I can bring back and offer to people I worked with in the past, to my friends or my colleagues or someone I have great respect. And as a matter of fact, it just came up that someone reached out to me via LinkedIn saying that they have an investment property and they're trying to raise funds for multi-family home. I think it's like 26 units. So I said, I have no funds, but I have a tool and you can start looking for investors. And so hopefully when he finds the investors and he gets the project going, he'll remember about Lucy and he'll take me out to dinner.
Perfect. I'll take a good steak dinner anytime.
But so that's how I utilize my connections.
That's perfect. What I'm hearing you say is, even if you're not a subject matter expert or have a direct solution or service, there's always value that can be provided that will then make them think of Lucy or think of me or whoever it is in the future. It gives them that warm and fuzzy feeling, and they'll at least know, okay, Lucy went to bat for me. How can I return the favor? It's the rule of reciprocity. Always is in effect. I'm curious. So I had a similar conversation with my brother the other day, talking about building relationships, and he has this one question that he asks everybody. He says that if you have a magic wand and there's no budget or obstacles, what would you fix? Like, what is your challenge that you're trying to overcome? I'm curious if you have one question like that you always ask somebody to try to uncover, their challenges or their goals or anything like that.
Well, the first person I would ask that question is myself. Like, yeah. What would I do? And it's hard to answer. It really is. And I did ask some of my colleagues, some of my agents, what would you do if you would not do real estate? Majority of them said, I have no idea. Some of them said I would open my own company. Some said I would love to have a team and maybe not be a team leader, but be part of a strong team. Some said I would love to move somewhere else and start all over and see how successful I can be, because I already built everything I possibly could over here. And it would be really challenging to just park myself in California. Actually, that's a true story. Park myself in Los Angeles and see if I can replicate what I just did in Garden City in New York. So those are the some questions. I can tell you my challenge was so Matterport, before CoStar bought us, they sent me to Dallas and they said you have no clients. You only have one product, which is 3D tour, and we pull photos from it. You don't have any connections, and you landed in the middle of nowhere. Can you build the business? And basically, in 3 months and 1 week, I had full schedule. I had several meetings every single day. I was participating in so many events. I was driving myself crazy. I spent 2 weeks Florida, 2 weeks Dallas, and I didn't complete building the business because CoStar decided to that they will go a different way with the homes.com and memberships and such.
Sure.
But I actually proved to myself that I can be placed in the middle of nowhere. I had never been in Dallas ever before, and with nobody around, and knowing zero people, zero agents, build something. So that can be challenging. That was fun, but you say I already tried that, so now I need to create a different challenge.
There you go. I'm excited to see what's next for you, Lucy. I know you're going to do something really cool. That's very interesting. I do want to pivot a little bit here. So I know that you have, excuse me, a podcast. You have several different YouTube channels. You like to do a lot of interviewing, and that's a tool that you use to get your voice out there, to build your authority. So I think that there's a lot of opportunity. Podcasts are a dime a dozen today. They're very popular. And so I think people view it as saturated, but I still think that there is an opportunity for everybody to, again, build their reputation and establish some authority to grow their business. So I'm curious, was that your reason for starting the podcast and starting to interview people? And how did you decide on your style and your brand? There's honestly a lot more that goes into it than people might realize.
Well, when I joined VHT, they didn't want me to be in sales anymore because it was all about Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. So they said, get out of sales, do not talk to anyone, and we will have lunch with Lucy podcast. But I was choosing my own guests, and my goal was to invite someone, not that because it's a CEO or whatever, though sometimes they were CEOs, but someone who is valuable. Like I had ChatGPT. I had someone talking about cryptocurrency 3 years ago when it was really, really hot, but no one understood what it's all about. So I had someone about keto diet, because I think it's so, not that I follow it, but I think it's important. But I listened to him, and I did take, just like I said, no one discovers America. You have to be healthy and you have to eat healthy. And I did take some notes from him, but I did not stop drinking. And that's one of the things that you have to do. So I invited a guest on social media. I invited a guest on YouTube channel. So those were, and sometimes the company was against my decisions, and they felt like it's not promoting the company, but it promoted the company indirectly because people would sign up. We had so many followers, and it was like up to 500-600 people joining live and then watching later, because they knew that something interesting is going to be there. So even if I didn't talk about VHT or I didn't talk about Matterport, I was talking about what's valuable, and that is important. I believe that you and I today are talking about something that is valuable, and maybe one or two nuggets someone will take home with them. As far as my interviews, it came accidentally, because I was doing the podcast, and I was approached. I was approached by one of top agents in Manhattan, saying that maybe you can just do a short interview with me, since I was on your lunch with Lucy, and I did that, and it went through the roof. And then I asked that agent if I can interview another Sotheby's agent in Florida, and I did that. And then I started interviewing, but my interviews were never about VHT or Matterport or market conditions. It could be one of the questions, but the main direction, the foundation was about the person I was talking to. It's their story, how they got started, how they fell in love with real estate, because they were all real estate related, more or less. How did they, maybe they're third generation or fourth generation realtor, and how they built their brand, and what challenges they went through, what challenges they're still going through, because nothing is easy. And that's how I actually opened doors. When I did the interview with Howard Hanna, and we flew to Cleveland, Ohio, and our chief revenue officer came with me. We were there for 2 days. I felt like a family. You don't really build business. I didn't sell Matterport. It just came naturally that we start talking about Matterport on day 2 and what we can do for the company. And we didn't have coverage there, so we couldn't do anything. But still, whenever I see Hobby, he's such a down-to-earth person. I have such great respect for him. I mean, sometimes I just want to pinch myself. People I met and people who were across from me at this conference table, and Gino Blefari, who is also so down to earth and such an interesting history and success, and it's incredible. But I think, again, if you are authentic, if you are passionate about finding out their success story, then it will be a success interview. But I believe in that.
I couldn't agree more. I think you need to find the intersection of maybe your theme and their passions, right? That's what people want to listen to, not somebody sitting there selling a business or, blandly talking about this and that. When you can see and hear the excitement, that's when you want to tune in, and that's what you really remember and want to, continue to investigate. I truly wish that I started this podcast years ago. I've been having so much fun talking to different people and hearing their insights and their expertise, and it just leads to my own excitement. And as a marketer, you take a 45-minute conversation on video, and it gives me 50, 60, 70 pieces of content because you slice it up and you can share it. So it is helping me to grow my business as well in a fun way. I enjoy these conversations very much. So I think that there is so much value in the art of interviewing and podcasting that a lot of people don't think about. So I highly recommend people give it a shot and keep trying. So exactly. That's incredible. How do you keep each episode fresh? I know, again, you talked about focusing on their passions and their insights. Is that it? It's like you don't go in with a scripted episode. You really just want to talk to them and hear their voice.
I usually put some questions together. I run it by the person I'm going to interview. Sometimes they tell me right away that they're not going to talk about it, so I just skip it. For example, when I interviewed Robert Refkin, I heard from before about the story how he started in real estate, and actually he was a DJ in high school, and that was his first business. And I asked him, can we talk about it? And he said, of course we can. And it was actually fun. And then it took off for more like a personal conversation versus talking about how great the campus agents are and how we just kill to be the best and how we invest in our back office. No, it was nothing like that. And obviously he is very proud of his brand and his success, and he should be. You can like him or you can love him or you can don't like him, but he is a genius. So and let's put it this way, I respect him very much. And that's how, and I try to keep it fresh by just asking how, besides the fact, how did you get started? Like when I interviewed Jay Ramley, our chief revenue officer, I said, let's go back to when you were 7 years old and let's see who you wanted to be. And then it came up to be such a great story how he wanted to be a pilot instead of chief revenue officer at Matterport. But we were talking about the school years and his adventures, and it was a very personal, a very close to heart story, So what's so fun about being chief revenue officer at Matterport? All you do is count money, and every quarter you're scratching your head.
Yeah. I'm picturing you having that DJ conversation with the gentleman you mentioned first, and the lights going low and a disco ball coming down, and you guys just having a little dance party for the interview. It's funny how you can go off on these tangents and have it just lead to a great conversation like that. That's incredible. Amazing. So Lucy, we're getting close to the end here. I have some, I know we did this last time, but I always enjoy these rapid fire questions. So I'm going to throw 5 new ones at you, and see what kind of good answers we get from you. So who is your favorite guest or interview that you've had so far from your podcasts and your videos?
Third one, he is at Properties, and he is also Christie's International, and now he's part of Compass. But such an amazing personality. Oh my God. And he started from nothing. He was from a very, I shouldn't say very poor family, but definitely not fortunate family. And how he built that empire because he was different. He was such an outside of the box thinker. It was, I really, and I just enjoyed his chemistry. I just wanted to be in at his office forever, listening to his stories.
Very cool. Very cool. Knowing what you know now, is there anything specific that you would change that you've done in the past?
Well, I would probably, as far as my interview is concerned, I would probably not just focus on C-level people. I should really, and I'm going to continue doing that. So now I'm building my YouTube channel and my podcast and everything else. I will be talking to more, maybe just agents and all, not just agents, and also to buyers and sellers and their experiences and what they go through. I think final consumer is one of the most important topics right now for everybody. For all you agents, it's very important to understand the final consumer. And that's what I'm going to invest in my energy now. And I'm sorry I didn't start it earlier.
Well, you know what they say, the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago. The second best time is today. So yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. When you are at the different networking happy hours that you go to, what is your drink of choice?
It all depends. It depends how tired I am or how excited I am, but usually it's scotch. I love my scotch. I learned to drink scotch when I came to America, as a matter of fact.
I was going to say, how American of you.
And you can put a little soda water there and you can put an ice cube and it will last. If I drink vodka, I usually drink it straight and then I get really drunk. And because at those events, you drink more than you eat. So I have to be careful, and scotch can take you a long way.
There you go. That's smart. Season that right there. What is your favorite vacation spot?
Oh, that's a great question. I love scuba diving. So scuba diving, Kyle, scuba diving, it's like a world of its own. Like if you can fly to the moon, it's the same thing if you can scuba dive. So Peter and my husband and I, we love Caribbean, but our favorite spot would be Pacific Ocean. So our last vacation was in Pacarava, and that is not far from Tahiti. And it's like, and then also in Reinora, I can never pronounce it right, where we were swimming with wild dolphins. A whole family of 8 came to us 2 days in a row, and we were playing with them, and they asked us to scratch them, and they would move around, and it's amazing. So I would say Pacific Ocean is my most favorite. It's just unfortunately extremely expensive and very long flight, and it takes a while to get there. Yeah, it takes time to get there. Exactly.
Yeah. Last one. What is your death row meal?
Mexican food. I was Mexican in my previous life. I would do anything for enchilada or for stuffed pepper, for the I just love tacos. Okay, but I like enchiladas, and actually we make the best. Peter and I will love to cook. So when we cook, we always accommodate our food with the proper drink. So I don't like margarita; it's too sweet. But then we drink tequila and we drink Mexican beer or some kind of similar beer, and we have Mexican food appetizers. I even have a set of dishes. And when I had my own
theme.
It's all peppers. And when I had my company and we were in North Bergen, New Jersey, and on my birthday, every year they would do a surprise birthday party for me, decorated in Mexican flags and hot peppers. And
very nice. That's awesome. Do you like it? Do you like it spicy? Can you handle the heat?
I love it spicy. Yes.
All right. All right. I'll have to make sure I take my heartburn medicine next time we hang out. Amazing. Well, Lucy, we were at the open forum section here. Was there anything that maybe we didn't touch on that you wanted to share, you feel passionate about, anything like that?
My passion is be passionate, be authentic, be true to yourself. Wake up in the morning and be happy. If you are not happy in the morning, go for a walk, go for a swim in the summertime or whatever you got to do, but get your attitude together. You have to have a positive attitude. I always say if you have negative attitude, you are so not productive. And if you are not productive, you will only get more negative. So whatever it takes, read a book, go for a walk, but get your positive energy inside of yourself in order for you to have a good day. Otherwise, or just go and watch television all day because it's going to be wasted regardless.
That's so true. That is so true. That's a perfect way to end it. I feel energized and ready to handle some business right now. Lucy, thank you so much for joining for 2 episodes. You've contributed so much of your time and your knowledge. We appreciate it. So if anybody is listening or watching, again, they could find you on LinkedIn. I know you love to connect with people on there. Yep. You have your channels on YouTube. And remind me, again, you're starting up with Get Real.
Yeah, I'm starting up in U1. It's youtube.com, and then it's at Lucy Edwards Real Estate. But it's not really, it's going to be there. My old one that's going to be alive for another week is youtube.com/at Lucy Edwards VHT. So and I'm transferring my content slowly.
Amazing. Well, we'll be sure to share all that so everybody can learn even more from you. So Lucy, thank you again for joining episode 2 of the Brainiac Blueprint. Really appreciate it. One more time, if you don't mind, look at the camera and say, "Stay brilliant, Brainiacs."
Stay brilliant, Brainiacs. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you, Lucy.